The Texans dominated the Pittsburgh Steelers 30-6. Yes, people, you got that right. The Pittsburgh Steelers lost to the Houston freaking Texans, led by outstanding top 10 quarterback CJ Stroud. I don't care if he's 3 games in, all right? I know a top 10 quarterback when I see one. All right, when Justin Herbert came in on a short notice 15 minutes before kickoff, when Tyrod Taylor had that situation that happened with his lung, he came in and he dominated and went off against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. You know greatness when you see it. CJ Stroud, he's a dog, and the Texans got their franchise quarterback. And y'all know I love me some CJ Stroud. I don't know what the hell has gotten into this man, but ever since that semifinal game against Georgia, this man has been playing some outstanding football. He's carried a lot of momentum that he built in that college football semifinal matchup into the regular season of his NFL career because he still has yet to throw an interception. I mean, CJ Stroud, man, this dude shredded the Steelers defense. And I'm a Steelers fan, all right? So you're getting this from an unbiased standpoint. I'm telling you the truth. CJ Stroud absolutely destroyed one of the best defenses in the NFL. I mean, yeah, the stat line doesn't look pretty, 16-30, but if you watch this game, he looked cool, calm, and collected. And it's hard to do that, especially when you're a rookie quarterback and you got Alex Highsmith and TJ Watt coming after you behind one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. The Texans are down multiple starters on the offensive line, but it didn't matter. CJ Stroud still was standing calm, standing tall in the pocket. I mean, he was absolutely shredding our secondary. These receivers that the Texans have, I love them. All right? Tank Dell, y'all know that's my boy. I did a video about him a couple of months ago. Y'all need to go check it out. Fantastic route runner. We didn't really hear a lot of his name being called in this game, but you still need to look out for him in the foreseeable future. Same thing with John Mechie, but Nico Collins, my brother, you stole the show. You had 7 receptions for 168 yards and 2 touchdowns? You talk about putting yourself on the map. The Texans got a really solid squad, and when they start to get healthy on the offensive line, this is a team that possibly could win the NFC South. Like the NFC South or the AFC South, excuse me, it's up for grabs, okay? Because teams that we thought weren't going to be that great are kind of exceeding expectations. The Colts, the Texans, the Jags are disappointing, but the Titans are still around in the picture. So in terms of being able to compete for the AFC South, I think the Texans got a really good chance. Now, let's get on to the meat and potatoes of this segment, okay? The Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, y'all know I'm a Steelers fan. I'm a diehard Steelers fan till I die. Okay, I came out the womb bleeding black and gold. Ask my mama. This is probably the worst point that I've ever been at when it comes to supporting this team. Now, Mike Tomlin after this game said changes are going to be made. Yeah, your ass better make some changes, Mike Tomlin, because I think your job is kind of a little bit in question. There's no reason why you being a defensive-minded coach should have got shredded by CJ Stroud. He's a rookie quarterback. You're a defensive guru. You know what that means? Rookie quarterbacks are supposed to struggle against your defense, not thrive against it. The Steelers have no good cornerbacks outside of old man Patrick Peterson. I apologize to you, Patrick Peterson, because I slandered you when we signed you in free agency. I thought that you were washed. And you are up there in age, but the fact that you are our best cornerback shows a lot about the lack of talent that we have at cornerback. Joey Porter Jr., like, why are we not starting this man? We sparingly are playing Joey Porter Jr. Like, he's not any worse than anybody else we've been starting out there at cornerback, so throw his ass out there. Now, Matt Canada should have been gone after week 1. And then last week before the game, I get a notification on my phone from the Bleacher Report app saying that Mike Tomlin is allowing Matt Canada to work closer with Kenny Pickett. Like, what? The last thing this fool needed was to be anywhere closer to Kenny Pickett. You know that Matt Canada got Kenny Pickett injured in this game? Yeah! How? How did he get Kenny Pickett injured, JT? He just caused a play. Let me tell you what this clown did. It's 4th and 1. You know Pittsburgh's offensive line has been terrible the whole entire game. We got Broderick Jones out there, man. The fact that we drafted a left tackle in the first round and we can't start him day one concerns me, and I saw why. And then we running our 4th and 1, a play out of the shotgun. And it's not a run play, people. It's a pass play. Run the ball up the damn middle, man. If we can't pick up 1 yard, our offensive line should not be on the field. Honestly. We really are going to call a pass play on 4th and 1, knowing our offensive line has been terrible? Matt Canada. Come on, man. Come on. Now, Kenny Pickett is hurt. All right? Oh, my goodness. What are we going to do, JT? Let me tell you something. I haven't even looked into Kenny Pickett's injury. I don't know if he's going to be out for the season, if he's going to be out for a week, or if he's going to be back next week. You want to know why? Because it really doesn't matter. Like, I was telling my homeboy earlier, like, Mitch Trubisky can't do no worse than Kenny Pickett. And I don't really think he's going to be any better. And you want to know something crazy? You know, during that Oregon and Colorado matchup a couple of weeks ago, you know that Pittsburgh sent the scout to look at and scout Shedeur Sanders? I mean, bro, like, Kenny Pickett, I have a hard time defending him. This is my excuse for Kenny Pickett. I always say he's one of those quarterbacks that you can't judge by the stats because he always comes through in big moments, right? The sad thing is that he doesn't really rise to the occasion unless it's a big moment. But anytime Kenny Pickett has been in a close game, he's been pretty good. All right, he had multiple comebacks in the 4th quarter during his rookie season. So he can play in the 4th quarter. It's just that outside the 4th quarter, he plays like dog shit for the first 3. And I'm not about to write off Kenny Pickett, but you know, my homeboy said, is that Kenny Pickett, y'all franchise quarterback last week when we were playing against the Las Vegas Raiders? And I said, franchise quarterback? He's our quarterback. I don't know about franchise. So Kenny Pickett is like, does it really matter how long he's hurt for? Because even when he is healthy, he doesn't really look all that better than Mitch Trubisky. And a main reason for this is because of the guy calling the plays. I'm going to just keep it honest with you guys. Kenny Pickett is a low ceiling, low floor quarterback. His ceiling is not high. Kenny Pickett, at best, he'll be a top 12, top 13 quarterback, and you can win with that because Pittsburgh normally has a really good roster and a really great defense. But the problem with having a Kenny Pickett is that you got to have a lot of pieces around him. You got to have good receivers, a great offensive line, a good rushing attack, and you got to have a really good play caller, which the Steelers haven't had since Todd Haley. Okay, Todd Haley was the last great offensive coordinator that the Pittsburgh Steelers had. Ever since Todd Haley was given the boot because of Ben Roethlisberger not really liking him, the offense has been dog water. Randy Fichtner, awful. Matt Canada, awful. Like, there were LSU fans telling me, good luck with Matt Canada, and there were a good amount of LSU fans telling me this, and they don't even watch the NFL. They were like, look out for that jet sweep that doesn't fool nobody. I mean, bruh, Mike Tomlin, I'm so disappointed. So disappointed. You know, for somebody who always preaches accountability and leadership, you know, like, I felt like he really should have been more accountable with this offense. And I get the fact that he didn't want to mess up anything as far as Kenny Pickett's development, because if you guys go and you look up quarterbacks that have been bust, the quarterbacks that are bust 9 times out of 10 are the ones that go through multiple changes on the coaching staff and that head coach. Marcus Mariota had a new offensive coordinator in Tennessee nearly every single season. and he had 2 new head coaches. Jameis Winston went through several head coaches. So I kind of understood why Mike Tomlin brought back Matt Canada. But at the same time, as a head coach, you should be telling your offensive coordinator, hey, man, like, the shit we did last year wasn't fucking working. So we need to change it. What do we need to do to make this offense better? And it seems like these head coaches never have these discussions, even though I'm pretty sure they do. You think they would, but it seems like they don't, because Matt Canada is running the same offense that he did last year. The offense sucked balls last year, and it sucks balls this year. Matt Canada has to go, and Mike Tomlin said after this game that we about to make some changes. The changes better be Matt Canada getting the pink slip once the plane lands back home in Pittsburgh. You need to block his access to the facilities. You need to revoke his key card access. Get this dude as far away from this franchise as possible. We haven't had a good offensive coordinator since Todd Haley. Maybe we should give him a call. Big Ben is gone. He's retired. Maybe he could be better with Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett doesn't seem like a difficult quarterback to get along with. And I want to root for Kenny Pickett. He seems like a nice guy, you know? But it just isn't resonating on the field. And he's been putting in the work. It's not like he doesn't work. It's not like he's slacking. It's just that something isn't resonating. And Kenny Pickett isn't one of those quarterbacks like Justin Herbert that can overcome multiple coaching changes and that can overcome a bad situation. Justin Herbert may be the only quarterback that I can remember that's still been able to be an elite quarterback despite having a bad head coach and multiple different offensive coordinators. I mean, Kenny Pickett, he could be a solid quarterback, but he needs a good offensive coordinator. And if he doesn't have that, he's not going to be good. You know, props to the Texans for giving the Steelers this loss. Because if the Steelers would have won this game, guess what? Mike Tomlin still would have had Matt Canada calling the plays. Now, I'm hoping that he changes the play caller. He has to at this point. And I get that you don't want to make drastic changes when it comes to your coordinators, especially this early into the season, but when the offense is this bad, you got to. Like some of these head coaches, I really wonder, what do they be thinking when they decide on certain decisions? Like bringing back Matt Canada, I understand Mike Tomlin's reasoning, but at this point, it looks like you were better off just bringing in a new offensive coordinator with how bad the play calling has been. It only works keeping the offensive coordinator around for your rookie quarterback going into a second season if the guy is actually good at calling the plays. If you got a bad play caller, why would you give him another year to ruin your young quarterback? I mean, props off to the Texans. You guys got a very big win in this game. And I'm not sleeping on the Texans. Like, you boys know that I've been high on Houston all off season. Like, I've made several videos about the Texans, how they're going to have a top 10 defense, how they could be a 7-win team, maybe 8-win team. Like, I've been really high on the Houston Texans, and I'm not surprised that they won this game. The Houston Texans, you know, they had a better game plan than Pittsburgh, and they just were a better team. And if you have followed the Pittsburgh Steelers for years, very closely, you know that this team always tends to underperform against teams that they are favored to beat. You know, it's always the same thing every single season with Mike Tomlin. Trash offense and the Steelers playing down the competition. But what's new?